Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome to another video, and today's video is about 5 popular JavaScript interview questions. So this video was requested by one of our subscribers. His name is Raj Sekar, he's from India, and Raj asked me if I could do this video about popular JavaScript questions that you can get in an interview. So I said, why not? Why not, you know? And so the questions will be, so you just know before we start, so the questions will be: what is a variable in JavaScript? The difference between local and global variables. What is a function in JavaScript? The difference between equal, double equal, and triple equal in JavaScript. And finally, what will be the result if I try to add a number with a string? For example, a 3 number with a 3 string. What will be the result? Okay, so for the first question, what is a variable in JavaScript? So, a variable in JavaScript, it will be like a box, a container, where you can assign a value. For example, let's say I have a variable is something that changes, like the name it says. So, let's say that I have a variable weight, like my weight, yeah? My weight now can be, let's say, 140 pounds, but after a year I can be 170 pounds. So you see, a variable is like a box. You have a number inside, but it doesn't mean that this number will stay always the same. So this is the purpose of the variables, is contain a number, or can be a number or can be a string, anything, but it can change over the time. So it's really like a box. You can explain this. It's like a box, and the content inside can be different over time. So this is the first question. So I can even give you now just an example in here, so you can understand it better. Alright guys, to understand this better, let's have a look at this code. If, for example, let's start here a variable called subscribers. Let's say you start a YouTube channel and you have 0 subscribers. You then initialize here another 2 variables. One for the June subscribers, which will be 20, and a variable for the July subscribers, which will be 30. So now our new value of subscribers, we can put like subscribers equal to June subscribers, which will be 20, plus the July subscribers, which will be 30. So initially our value of subscribers was 0, and now it will be 20 plus 30, it will be 50. So as you can see, a variable, it really is like a box, a container. It will hold the value of something, but it can change over time, just like in this example. So for the second question, the difference between a local and a global variable, I will use now an example here so you can understand it better. Alright guys, so to understand better the difference between a local and a global variable, let's have a look at this code in here. So, for example, in this code we have here 2 variables, one variable A and one variable B. But let's see, the variable A is outside of everything, and the variable B is inside of the function 1. So if we try to do a console.log to check what's the value of a, although there is no a variable inside of this function 1, what JavaScript will try to do is go outside of this function, because it can't find any variable a in here, so it goes outside of the function to the next scope to try to see if it can find. So if we go outside of the function, we can see that there is a variable a. So this console.log a will work, and the value will be 5, which is the value of the variable a. But look, this console.log in here, if you try to do this console.log for the variable b, it can't find this variable b, because this variable b only exists inside of this function 1. So here you can really see what's the difference between a global and a local variable. A global variable is like this a, which stands outside of everything, is not inside of any function. And a local variable is, for example, like this variable b, which only exists and works inside of this function 1. If we try to call this variable b outside of this function 1, it will not work, because it's like it can't find it. As you can see, for example, I'm gonna just repeat one more time to see if you understood. The variable b, since is inside of this function, it will only exist in there. If we try to call it outside of this function, like in here, console.log b, it will result in an error because it can't find. But for the global variables, like variable a, if we are inside of this function and we say console.log a to try to log the result of this variable, even though this variable doesn't exist in this function, it will try to go outside of this function to try to find this variable, which in this case exists. So the result will be 5. So for the third question now, what is a function in JavaScript? Again, I will use now this example here so you can understand better. Alright guys, to understand what is a function, let's have a look at this code in here. So, what is a function? A function is a piece of code that you can use to perform a particular task that you want to do, and to try to save you some time and not repeat yourself. So to start declaring a function, you have to write down function followed by the name of the function that you want to use. So this will be the name of the function. In this case, it will be an area. We want to calculate an area. And after, you have to open parentheses. You can have something inside of the parentheses or not. Inside of the parentheses, we can put what we call parameters. So in this case, I'm going to put 2 parameters, which will be the width and the height. And each time you put a new parameter, you need to separate them with a comma in here. You see, if I want to put something else, let's say volume, I have to put another comma in here separating them. You can put as many parameters as you want. So I'm just going to delete this one now. So this is the function, and you have, of course, after the curly braces, this will be the code that will be inside of your function. What you want to run all over again, you know, so you just write this piece of code once and you can use it many times. So inside of this function, I will return. This will return, when I run this function, it will return what I have in here. And what I have in here is the width times height. These values in here is the same as this. It will be the same. Height. Yeah? So, how do I call this function to run? To call a function, what you have to do is you write down the name of the function, which you can see in here, area, and then you open parentheses. And of course, if you initially don't have anything, like in here, if you don't have anything, in here you will not have anything as well. So, but this is not what we want. So, in here, since we have two parameters, we have to put in here two arguments. So let me say it again so you understand. Whatever we put inside here of the function, it will be parameters. And when we call the function to make the function run, we have to put some values in here, which are called the arguments. So in here, for example, if I call the function area and I put here the value 10 and here the value 15, 10 will be the value of the width. So when we run this function, what this will do is it will replace this string in here with the value of 10. And when I put in here 15, it will replace here this parameter with 15, and in here it will be 15 as well. So the result will be 10 times 15. And as you can see, if I want to calculate, for example, different areas for a house, for a garden area, I have here 3 variables for the house, garden, and garage. This variable in here will hold the value of this area. So I just run, I say var as house area equals to area. This is the function that I want to run, and I'm giving the value 50 for the width and 30 for the value of height. So in this case, the function will run is returning 50, so 50 from here, 30 for here, and the result will be 1500. And yeah, you can do the same for example, for the garden. In here now you have 70, 50, and for the garage you can have 40, 20, as you want. As you can see, you can call the function many times and give it different values. So this is like one of the good features of the functions and why you should use them. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. If you still have any question, just let me know in the comments down below. So for the fourth question, what is the difference between the equal, double equal, and triple equal operators? I will use again an example so you guys can understand it better. Alright guys, to understand the difference between an equal, double equal, and triple equal, let's have a look at this code in here. So when we use an equal sign, we are assigning a value to a variable. So as we can see in here, when we say var a equals to 10, we are giving the variable a the value of 10. So variable a gets this number 10 as a value. If we go to the variable b equals to 10, but this time this 10 in here is a string. So when we say equal, we are assigning this string to the variable b. So like I said again, when we just use one equal, we are assigning a value to this variable in particular. So for double equal is when we are comparing. When you use double equals, you are comparing two values, two variables or whatever, and you want to see if this is true or this is false. For example, in here we have the variable a is equal to 10, which is a number, and we have the variable b, which is 10 as well, but it's a string. If we compare them both, like a double equal to b, the result will be true because both of them, they are 10. if you do a console.log, you can see that both of these variables are 10, so it will be true. But if you use a triple equal, this will be false. And you want to know why? Because although these two variables have the same number, like in here is 10 and in here is 10, the variable a is a number and the variable b is a string. So the triple equals is comparing if both of the variables are equal, which in this case they are equal because they are 10, but they are different types. So this one, variable a, is a number and this one is a string. So this is what the triple equals tries to see, if they are both equal in value but also equal in type. So if I take in here, for example, from the variable b, these quotes, so now this is a number, yeah, or I can even do something like this, 5 plus 5, this will be 10, yeah. So if I say now a triple equals to b, this will be true, because they both have the value 10, but they also are the same, they are numbers, so this will be true. If I go again and I put 10 like this is string, this will be false. So I'm gonna go through one more time so you can understand. I'm gonna just resume it. Just using one equal sign, it will assign a value to the variable. If you use two equals, it will mean that it's comparing the two values just to make sure that they are the same. In here, as we can see, this is 10 and this is 10. So it's comparing just the values but not the type, not of the type of the variable. So this will be true, but triple equals is comparing not just the value but also the type. So in here, this is a number and this is a string. So I'm just gonna put so you guys can understand. So this will be false. And that's it. If you have any questions about these guys, just let me know in the comments down below. And finally, the fifth and last question. What will be the result if I try to add a number with a string? I will use another example in here and let's see if you guys can understand. Alright guys, so to try to understand what happens when we try to add a number with a string, let's have a look at this code in here. So in JavaScript, if you try to add, for example, in here we have a number 10, and you try to sum here, add like a string, the result will be, I'm gonna put the result, the result will be 10 hello. So this will be the result because JavaScript will try to concatenate is like join them together, and it will try to convert this number 10 into a string. So this will be the result, 10 hello as a string. As you can see, I put it between quotes so you can understand it better. And in here, if you see the next one, the variable b, fantastic as a string plus 4, the result will be, fantastic 4.
So JavaScript has this capacity to do that some other languages they don't do. It will not give you an error if you try to do this, but it will convert the number that you are trying to add to the string all together just as a one big string. Like I said in here in the beginning, if you try to add 10 with hello, the result will be a string 10 hello, and if you try to add this string fantastic with 4, the result will be fantastic 4 as a string. If you have any questions about these guys, just let me know in the comments down below.
Alright guys, I hope you guys liked this video. I hope these JavaScript questions, they are useful for you. They were, like I said in the beginning of the video, they were requested by Raj. If you guys have any question like this that you would like me to make a video, just let me know. I'll try to do it. And yeah, just if you have any questions, just let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.